So today is fucking crazy. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different hours of consulting calls with micro gym owners, which is way more than I typically do in a day. But because I was on vacation last week and some other stuff I've got coming up, I've got to kind of cram 10 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag this week. So today you're going to see a bunch of little snippets of just quick little nugs that I think you're going to get something out of. Throw it in here for you guys. And then I'm going to pull in some footage I did at my wife's building. She just purchased another building for her salon. So her salon was in one location. My wife owns a salon, for those of you guys who don't know. And now she's relocating it to another place, but she actually purchased the building instead of renting this time around. So obviously a smart move. So I'm gonna take you guys through there, show you that, because that's huge. It's really interesting that she's gone that same route with that journey. And then we're gonna do a little Q&A. So that's what we got going on for today.
What the fuck though?
When I help a business establish their brand, their marketing presence, I need to know what you're gonna do in the marketplace better than anybody. Now, you started talking about it briefly there. You started talking about, hey, we have this coach to athlete ratio, which is absolutely unheard of in our area, right? 1 to 8, crazy good, right? So that's something that makes us unique that nobody else is doing. I was asking about the niche as to what it is you guys do better than anybody, this personal attention and delegation of scaling options. Great. However, if I put you up there on a stage with all the other fucking gyms in your area, and I'm the MC, and I'm talking to all you guys on the stage, and then down in the stands are all your potential customers, and I go, hey gyms, how many of you guys give personal attention and you have good scaling options, you delegate them accordingly? Do you think there's anyone who's not gonna stand up?
Right.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
But if I say who has a 1 to 8 coaching ratio, you're probably one of the only guys that's standing up.
Yep.
So that's great. Guess what though? When I go to your website, where in your website, if that is one of the things that truly makes you stand out above everybody,
Yeah.
where is it? Why isn't it on your website? Why isn't it literally the biggest fucking thing punching people in the goddamn face on your website?
Yeah, it needs to be, huh?
It fucking
Our
needs to
website
be.
sucks.
Your website does suck. It is a fucking back alley coat hanger abortion.
I'm just a prom night dumpster baby.
It has all the right pieces, but in the wrong placements, and the photos need some work. So here's the it's a good shell. Things would be reordered. I would have you reorder a bunch of stuff. We'd get some new photos in, and we need to come up with a clear message. You kind of took some time off from those early morning classes once you got a coach in there, and then you step back in for a minute and you're like, oh fuck, this isn't exactly how I want it to run.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so I felt like there was some discrepancies between like the 6 a.m. and the 6 p.m.
Now there's models like Barry's Boot Camp. Every workout is completely different. Depends on who the coach is. The coaches are able to program the actual class completely different the way they want. But that's kind of that's something that, for Barry, that was really important for them and giving coaches identity. I'm of the belief that that's a very cool thing. I think they can work. But for what you're trying to do, and I think what a lot of micro gyms are trying to do, is create a consistent, reliable product. You need to get back in there and ensure that the classes perform the same, but they can sound different, and everyone's gonna have their own jive, their way. Just think of airline attendants. You ever they all say the same bullshit. Some of them are just funny and creative with fucking how they spew that, and some are just kind of boring and mundane, and then you can go in there and change that accordingly. But the flavor of the individual, I think it can be unique. What's being delivered and the flow of the classes, I believe, in my opinion, especially for your model, needs to be consistent.
They're looking at it as, now CrossFit's not as intense, or it's not as, so we're kind of stuck.
So every micro gym, especially CrossFit affiliates, that come up with a lighter version, let's call it a boot camp or whatever it may be, they don't differentiate the two programs enough. Just like you said, there are going to be CrossFitters that say this just looks like the boot camp but this, or there's going to be boot campers say this just looks like this but without the barbell. Like it's not identifiable enough. If somebody were to come in, they should be able to look at one CrossFit class and then look at your boot camp class and say, these are so radically different, there is no way I could be confused. That's what, Steve Pinkerton over at Vitality Fitness did with his CrossFit program, and then what he created, which is EvoFit. Nobody would look at the two of them and confuse them for one another. So whatever we decide, we will create a class flow that looks completely different. If you were deaf and you walked into the gym and you couldn't hear what coaches were, and you just watched this class happening and you watched that class happening, you would easily be able to know these are two different things. I don't know what these things are, but I know this is not the same class. These identities, right, and essentially this goes back to primal branding of these classes, are so important. Like literally, I could cut your boot camp class out right now and just tell you, hey, all the people who really don't want to go hardcore, use dumbbells instead. You see how they start identifying with your class with an identity. I'm a CrossFitter. I do CrossFit, but my knees bothering me, or this is what so I'm gonna hit boot camp today. But right now, if people think they look so similar, there's no reason for them to identify with one and then switch it up to the other one because of a certain circumstance. They're like, oh, well, they're pretty much the same. Like, I just do, this one I could just do, or I could do that one, but just with dumbbells. I think we all started when we wanted to create these programs, we thought we were going to trick people and like, oh no, don't be scared of it. It's got dumbbells, not barbells, dumbbells. And that works for some people, but most of those people are generally going to graduate to the barbell anyway, to that more advanced thing. This was just the easier entry point. But there are some people that are going to need an individual identity in their class, just like I bet you, under deep investigation, we can find some boot campers who have canceled, and it's because they truly didn't feel like they were doing anything. They truly felt like maybe it's just like CrossFit. Like, I didn't want to do CrossFit. I thought this was something different.
Really, what's that put us at, 11? Yep. 11 out of, we had 117 members. So I changed it also to just paying members. I had my coaches in there as well, and it changed. I was like, why are they considered? Because
so the way you do it, and here's why, is so there's generally a discrepancy in identifying those two things, members versus memberships. Generally, most gyms have more members than they have membership. A membership is a revenue generating subscription. Like, your gym is not this scenario, but the reason why historically is I'll have a gym that has 175 members and 10 of them are coaches. 5 of them are spouses of coaches. We're talking 15 people now that aren't paying. So I make them install that and keep their total members. Anybody that can utilize the facility and take up a spot, a sellable piece of real estate in the building. So this could be someone who has a paid in full membership, somebody who has a punch card, somebody who is a personal training client only, or a coach or the comped wife or husband of that coach. They are all members, but they do not have a membership. So the reason why too is because that should affect your ACV. Well, I just want to know what my average client value is of the people who are paying. Great, good. But it's just going to disguise the fact that you have 12 people not paying because they're friends of, because they're somehow related to your organization, whatever it may be. So again, everybody who can come into the facility and use it for any reason is a member, but they don't all have memberships. So anytime you get a videographer, and let's say he is even, he's referred from a friend, let's say he even understands the fitness industry. Maybe he's done some fitness work in the past. Storyboard with him to the nth degree, because artists are artists for a reason. Their brain thinks in abstract ways that ours don't. So when I did our videos, those guys, the Little Fuel Company, did an amazing job, and they've done plenty of fitness videos. They've done them for Lululemon and other micro gym models. Like, they get it. What I wanted them for, I wanted to take my idea of how the brand story would go, and I wanted them to just do good visual storytelling. I didn't want them to create the story. I wanted to create the story, the character introduction, the conflict, the resolution. Here is the storyboard. And then you put the flair, like you make the transitions look cool, and you figure out what angle they're going to come from and what kind of scenery is going to be in. Like, you do the visual storytelling portion, I will do the actual storyboarding. Because I'll tell you, for the money you're spending, if it doesn't come out the way you want, you are going to be frustrated as fuck that you're like, man, I wish I would have taken more control of it. Do not let this be a run with it kind of scenario. It's the biggest mistake I see gym owners make when they hire a videographer. They let the videographer run with it. You need to be the director and the producer and fucking Martin Scorsese on this bitch. God, I'm fucking pasty. Oh well, this'll work. Alrighty, so a little Q&A time. We're gonna make this one really quick. But yeah, I've been trying so hard to make these fucking vlogs fit in like a 10-minute or under window, and it's just gotten harder and harder the more I try to put into them. So yeah, let me know. You like the longer ones? Do you want them shorter? Like, just, hit me up or something, and that it would really help out. So Kevin asked, assessing your schedule, what metrics do you look at before you decide to cut a class if it's dead or busy? I essentially just look at the micro level of every P&L of each class. So if a class, I'm paying someone, let's say it's $40, that coach is getting paid per class based on whatever it is, salary or commission, or that's your hourly rate, whatever it is. If let's say it's $40 and 3 people are attending it, and their revenue per class and those 3 people comes out to be, $12 a person, that's $36. I'm paying more than I'm making, but it's close. Like 40 bucks out, 36 in. Man, can we get some more people in here? Yeah, I probably will keep that class. Now, once that P&L exceeds a certain amount, right? So let's put some more realistic. You're paying a coach $25 a class. One person shows up to it, and their per class revenue, when you do the math, like you take your monthly membership and divide it by how many classes, they're allowed to come to, or that they do come to, is like $9.26. $25 out, $9.26, in. It doesn't fucking work anymore. And that's a class, you're going to strongly consider cutting. But then you got to also ask yourself, what have you done to grow that class? Have you gone after certain people? Have you done the marketing to punch that class? Is this like a 9 a.m. mom after I drop my kids off at work class? Or is this like a 12, 1 o'clock service industry because I bartend at night and I sleep in the morning kind of class? So again, you guys have got to figure that out. But yeah, I just look at the P&L of each class at a micro level.
It don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
What are your thoughts on email marketing? Do you use it or is it dead? No, email marketing, you have to do it. It's alive. People use it. It's not going to be the biggest bulk of it. Like, I'm way bigger on text message. My business, Urban Movement, we've moved everything. I'd say 95+% of communication has gone to text message, but we still do emails as well. So the answer, like a lot of this stuff, do it all. Yo, Stu, do you have any advice or video reference for someone looking to buy a CrossFit gym from a current owner, the building and all? Yeah, essentially it's a buyer's market, unfortunately, not a seller's market, but that's for the CrossFit business. I don't know about where you are at real estate wise, whether that's going to be a different scenario. But here's the deal. I think when it comes down to valuating a business, these CrossFit gyms, the businesses don't have a ton of value. Whether you have contracts or month-to-months, whether you have a bunch of equipment or a little, they're just very hard, especially when you guys are working in them. So when someone's like, I'm buying a business, I'm like, no. Who are you buying it from? Does that person work in the business 40, 60 hours a week? If they do, then you're not buying a business, you're buying a job, and the cost of that needs to come down because now you have to work in that motherfucker. Or you're probably not looking to buy yourself a job, you're looking to buy a business. Now you need to pay someone a salary or some kind of compensation. The price needs to come down on that motherfucker. I believe that when it comes down to that, I don't have any video, you can go to the SBA and 7 times EBITDA and what all this, it's what they're willing to separate it for, to sell it for, and what you're willing to spend. It's a very high negotiation scenario, but it is definitely a buyer's market, not a seller's market. Commercial real estate's a whole nother thing. Get yourself a broker. And by the way, did I tell you guys I'm becoming a broker? I could be your broker soon. That's to come later, though. I'll talk about that here later on down the road. Stu, what are your thoughts on members that cancel for whatever reason but still want to follow your programming and be a part of your community's whiteboard, so on and so forth? I think it's a great additional revenue stream. If your members really like your programming, whether you're outsourcing it from somewhere else or you do it in-house, yeah, that is like that digital additional revenue stream I've talked about. Can you provide a digital revenue stream, whether it be remote coaching, which could be just your delivering of programming, or individual coaching, or some kind of an app, remote, for me, remote movement where they could still follow along with workouts, kind of like what Jason's done at NC Fit with the collective. Yes, I'm 100% down with it. If someone is so bought into your programming, they want to continue to, utilize it, charge them. And do it accordingly. I don't know what the fucking market value is on this. Is it a template where you're not really customizing it? Then it's probably less than $50 a month. Is it something where it's highly customizable? That could be $300, $400 a month. So I don't know where to tell you where that falls. Again, you're an entrepreneur. You own a business. You've figured out pricing and stuff so far. Test it out on a few people. I'm sure no one's beating down your fucking doors for this thing. Test it out. See where the market is at price point wise. Do some research and fucking run with it.
Hey Stu, what's going on? Because I've ran the gym launch program in the past and worked with other 6-week challenge companies, one of the way they get people to stay on, or they tell you as a sales tactic, is to roll over their deposit, divide it between your 12-month agreement, and lower their monthly training cost per month, right? My average client pays $139 a month. My new rates are $199 a month is my lowest rate for unlimited group training. Now, of my 63 active group training members, those monthly prices prices range anywhere between $110 per month to 189 per month.
All right, I'm just cutting it off there. I get where he's going with this. I did listen to the full question. His problem is he did the gym launch thing where the $600 or whatever that fucking 6-week challenge deposit is gets factored into the membership, which creates a lower EFT, which is fucking his ACV, and now he's going like, well, I don't want a lower ACV. I need to price raise these people. How do I not upset them? Hey, Bo, guess what? You're fucked. And I mean fucked like, not like proper fucked.
Proper fucked. Yeah, tell me.
That would be cool, but I mean like your business fucked in this, that you told these people one thing, they're coming in under this price. Like, again, here is where this model is a marketing tactic, not a business solution. So many of you guys are finding yourself in this situation where you did some 6-week challenge variation and now your ACV is fucked. Here's the deal. Break the news to them, tell them you're raising the price, whether they like it or leave it, you know, whatever. And we're probably talking, what, 30, 40, 50 bucks? These are numbers that you will be able to probably overcome in a price raise. But don't allow people to sit there and ruin your average client value, pay less than other members who are receiving the same fucking service, all because they came in on your gimmicky fucking high volume, big net, low quality, high quantity marketing play. And now your business model suffers because of it. Again, these 6-week challenges, they are fucking marketing plays, not business solutions. Bo, you're gonna have to give some people some bad news, or you're gonna have to fucking deal with the hurt, dented ACV that it's developed. All right, guys, that's fucking it. I'm getting goddamn sunburn out here, my fucking ginger ass. Anyway, that's all we got for today. If you guys haven't noticed, I've kind of dialed back the vlog to 2 days a week right now. I just need to do it temporarily while I finish up Micro Gym University. I'm tired of fucking telling you guys it's coming out, and there's a lot of fucking work with that, just a ton. So the vlog is gonna continue 2 days a week. I'm trying to be doing these Tuesdays and Friday uploads, but yeah, hopefully, you know, you're getting enough of me in the meantime. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Fucking love you. Talk to you soon. Peace.
It don't make dollars, it don't make sense. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So don't